So just recently here, I did a video showing my Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum revolvers. And this video I'm making right now is in response to a comment I got on that video. So basically someone commented and said, hey, is that gun practical for most people? And the answer to that question is absolutely not. For 90%, at least 90% of the people out there, this gun is not a practical gun. Most of you don't live in Alaska, and most of you aren't going to go hunting something that's the size of an elephant and would need something like this. So for most of the people out there, this gun is not practical. And I got to thinking about doing a video where I talk about what is practical to people that are new to shooting, people that shoot and maybe have been shooting for years and don't own a gun yet. Maybe you didn't have the finances right for you to get a gun yet. Maybe you just got into guns a couple years ago and you have a family, the money's not been right yet for you to get a gun. This is not something you want to go out and buy for your first gun or even your second gun. You see guys like me and other guys on YouTube, and we have these big collections of guns, and then we throw in things like this. I would not have this if I didn't have the guns that I already have. I probably would have never bought this. There's other things that I would have put first on the list. So this video is going to talk about the guns you should have as your base layer. We're going to call it the basic layer of guns that you need to have or to own, that I think is very important to anything that you might need or have to use a firearm for. Okay guys, so the number one thing that I recommend that you get first off is a good semi-auto handgun. Now it doesn't have to be a Glock. I do highly recommend the Glocks, but it can be any reputable brand out there that you prefer. The reason I put the G17 and the G19 out is because no matter what model you get, I recommend that it be one of these two sizes for your starting handgun. Either one of these two sizes will work for home defense, self-defense, concealed carry. Basically anything you would need a handgun for, you can do with either one of these models. Now I love my Glock 43. I would never plan on ever getting rid of that or selling it or anything like that. But it wasn't my first Glock. It wasn't my first gun. That's why I don't put that number one on the list. I put one of these guys because you have 17 plus 1 or 15 plus 1 rounds at your disposal. So if there were ever a scenario where one of these is the only gun you have, your first gun, and it was a break-in with multiple attackers, multiple people, you're out, you're concealed carrying, there's multiple attackers, multiple people, you have enough to defend yourself in that scenario. So my opinion is you start out first gun with a good semi-auto, basically in one of these two sizes right here. Okay, the second gun that I recommend that everyone have is an AR-15. Really doesn't matter on brands. You can go real high end, you can go low end. I wouldn't go bottom of the barrel like an extreme budget build or anything. But if you don't have a lot of money, Smith & Wesson M&P Sport, Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 2, Rock River Arms, several brands out there of guns that run reliably. You take care of them, they'll run all day long, and you'll have no issues whatsoever. But I highly recommend having an AR-15. It's fun to shoot, number one. You can take it out to the range. Your wife can shoot this, your daughter can shoot this, your mom can shoot this. Very light recoil. You can also use this gun for home defense if it was ever needed. If for whatever reason, because it does happen, if there was a home invasion and you didn't know how many people were coming into your house, it would be nice to have 30 rounds, wouldn't it? So you could take care of the threat and not have to worry about reloading and different things like that. Another thing that's good to have an AR-15 for is if there ever was a situation like a national disaster or something, and we've seen it happen before, like in Katrina, if there's no law, no rule of law, and you're basically trying to hold down the fort at your home or your neighborhood, and you get together with other people, get a good sling, have a good sling. This is the Larry Vickers Blue Force gear, highly recommended, highly recommended. But have a good rifle like this, and you could defend not only the whole perimeter of your home, but you could defend your neighborhood with other people. And like I said, this isn't some far out tinfoil hat thinking. This has happened. Just look at Katrina. That's all you got to do is read up on that. So this would very, very much come in handy. There's a lot of things you can do with this. There's animals, you know, you can shoot coyotes, groundhogs. There's different things you can shoot with this. But there's a lot of different things you could do with this. Plus, it's fun just to have this at the range. And like I said, anyone in your family, from a teenager to your wife, can handle this and handle the controls and the recoil. So it covers you on both ends, home defense and neighborhood defense if it was ever needed. So that's the second gun I highly recommend, is get yourself a good AR-15. And also when you do that, you can take your time and put things on it and trick it out over a period of time. Even though you still have the AR-15 with you, it might not be set up the way you want it. You can still have it loaded with a 30-round mag in your bedroom, wherever, by the bed, nightstand, ready to go. And as you save money or go down the line and get money from different things, tax money, whatever, you can do add-ons, get red dot sights and things like that, and add it on over time, so you don't have to do everything all at once. The third gun that I highly recommend that everyone have is a good shotgun. Now this is my Saiga 12. It's basically an AK-47 that shoots 12 gauge ammunition. Now this gun that you see on the floor isn't going to be practical to everyone out there. These are very expensive, and especially if they're fixed up like this one is, it's going to cost you a lot of money. But I highly recommend you have a good shotgun. The two I would recommend would be a Remington 870 or a Mossberg 500, any of the variants in those two models you could get. If you want to know one of my favorites, it would be the Mossberg 590A1, which is the military grade shotgun. You can look it up online, look it up on YouTube, and take a look at it. The one you see on the floor here, that's my Saiga 12, and I just have that there for reference. But you need a good shotgun. This also, with the right loadings, can be used for home defense, and you can also hunt with it. So if you're ever in a situation where you were somewhere, you needed food, whatever's going on, you could use this gun to hunt with. You could use it for protection. You can shoot it for fun. You can get bird shot and, you know, target practice with it for cheap. You can go from slugs. You can get double-aught buck. There's so many different things that you can do with this shotgun. You can get a shotgun, you can have fun and shoot some skeet. So basically, guys, with the three guns that I just told you about, I believe that is the three, we'll call it the base layer of guns that you should own if you're starting a collection, or if you just want a minimum amount of guns and you don't want to collect. There's a lot of people that like guns, but they don't collect them. And I understand that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So if you want to know the three guns you should have, those are the three. Whatever you do, get something good, though. If you're going to go with those three, get the good stuff. Don't try to cheap out, because what is you and your family's life worth? Don't cheap out. Go good with the ammunition and get yourself a reputable firearm and a reputable AR-15. Do your research, and a reputable 12-gauge shotgun. And right there, guys, you will be set for pretty much almost anything that you could encounter. And I think you're good to go if you start off with that. Later on, if you want to add more guns down the line, or if you want to do, add things to your collection, get a 500 Magnum, then at that point, you could do those things. But in my opinion, this is where you start with these three firearms. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know. Give me a like down below. This is H4T, and I'm out.